I've been front row from the ciphers to the chains. Dennis Byron the name. Hip-hop inquirer the flame. We the voice of the block, pitch sharp like a sword, breaking truth from the booth to the courtroom floor. Byron been riding 3 decades strong. Hip-hop inquirer, the real never wrong. Yeah, we dig, we expose, we press, we reveal. From the legends to the lies, we keep it real. Byron with the facts, no time for the cap. He on the map, run and tell that. Started with a Nikon, chasing down a spark. Snapping shots of Biggie before he left the park. ATL to the BX, I kept it authentic. From rap beats to court seats, I really been in it. I ain't TMZ, I'm the G with the sources. Breaking exclusives, live from the horses. Wrote the script while they mimic my tone. Interviews with icons, yeah, I built this alone. Why they blog for clout, I report for the streets. Facts over fiction, receipts on repeat. Byron been official since cassette tape days. Now I'm pressing play from courtrooms to airwaves. Destiny's Child, Yeezy in the lens. From Def Jam meetings to courtroom defense. YouTubers fake it, I lift every frame. Journalists of record, remember the name. We the voice of the block, pin sharp like a sword. Breaking truth from the booth to the courtroom floor. Byron been riding 3 decades strong. Hip-hop inquirer, the real never wrong. Yeah, we dig, we expose, we press, we reveal. From the legends to the lies, we keep it real. Byron with the facts, no time for the cap. He on the map,
Run and tell that.
See, this ain't no gossip column. This is culture curated. Hip-hop documented, verified, celebrated. This is Hip-Hop Inquirer, where receipts matter. So hit that sub, join the ride with a vet. From the studio to trial. Ain't no
All right, now hit that sub.
While they sleep in the booth. Dennis Byron got the lens on the truth. We the voice
Let's
of the
go.
block, pen sharp like a sword, breaking truth from the booth to the courtroom floor. Byron been
Okay. Enough already. All right, good afternoon. Well, good morning. We're still in the morning time. I know I told you guys we will be back at 9 o'clock, but we had a slight snafu happening over here. But we are back. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this just came in. Before we start our play our interview with the incredible Sean G, this just came down the pipeline. Let's see here. Let me bring this up. This just came down today. This is breaking news. I did not see this coming. I said, wait a minute, there's no way this would happen. No way that a jury would no way a court will allow this to go this far. But it's going this far. It is going this far, ladies and gentlemen. And we got to talk about it. First and foremost, put a 1 in the chat if you can hear the sound of my voice. Put a 1 in the chat. If you are tuned in on YouTube, put a 1 in the chat. This has come down from the Supreme Court, ladies and gentlemen. This has come down from the Supreme Court. So let me just bring this up here real quickly. This is the final step before you got to cut that check. Here we go. We'll move that out the way. This just came in. Oh my goodness. This is bad for you content creators, you reckless content creators. This is bad. Within the last hour, the United States Supreme Court rejected Alex Jones' appeal of his $1.4 billion judgment. And you guys remember, he was saying what happened in Sandy Hook was a hoax. We remember that trial. $1.4 billion was awarded to the families of the victims of the Sandy Hook massacre. Alex Jones was running out there saying that, hey, this is a hoax. This is not real. But now he has to cut the check. I don't think he got the check to cut. But this went all the way to Supreme Court. Content creators should be really, really nervous right now. This is probably one of the biggest judgments against an individual content creator. Alex Jones, the founder of InfoWars, is now on the hook $1.4 billion. That's incredible. And why does this matter? When people get on the internet and say the weirdest things, they open themselves up to lawsuits. And we're going to talk about that for a second. I covered several civil trials, state and federal, where people have made false claims of other individuals. And those individuals who were the recipients of those false claims sued. They sued. We saw this was the case in the, I want to say this was another famous case, but this was an individual. Well, there was the other one involving, I try not to even say a name, but the case involving Cardi B and TK. It was nothing like this lawsuit, nothing like this as far as the size and the amount of the judgment. But you just can't get on the internet and just say anything. Because there's some people that will sue you. Don't care if you don't have any money, but they'll sue you and put a judgment on you for the rest of your life. And I think that people are thinking short term when they do these weird videos attacking others. And this has went all the way to the Supreme Court. He had the opportunity to take it back. He had the opportunity to apologize. The First Amendment doesn't protect you from reckless behavior. It doesn't. And I want to talk about another situation that came on my desk early this morning. But I think I'll make that a dedicated video and explain to people why you can't just poke the bear and not expect the bear to poke back. You'll probably say, Mr. Byron, who is the bear? Well, the bear is the one being poked. You say, Mr. Byron, what are you talking about? We'll talk about that later. But my point is, when you make these outrageous claims and you intentionally do these things to harm others, you just can't run behind the First Amendment, because the First Amendment won't be there for you. It won't be there for you, because if it's done in a malicious way, chances are you're probably going to lose. I think people forget these lawsuits, or sometimes people don't study these lawsuits. And it may be long, it may take a while, but if you're on the right side of the law, and then you the plaintiff, then you'll probably prevail. However, if you're the defendant and you have all your eggs in the right basket, then you may prevail. But why risk losing everything? Some people say, well, you can't sue me, I don't got nothing. Well, that's all right. You may eventually get something. And when you get something, they're going to get it. They're going to get it. So I don't know how long the families have waited to get some kind of satisfaction. But I do believe that when this case was filed and went up to the high court, that there had to been a bond put in place, a surety bond put in place to make sure he doesn't run off with the bag. And we're going to look into the story a little more later because it has a correlation to a story I'm going to be doing later today at some point. But as of right now, Alex Jones is on the hook $1.4 billion. And there's no other court he can go to. He went to the highest court in the land, and they said he has to pay. That hurts. Him. Don't do anything for me, but it hurts. 1.4 billion is a lot of bread. And we'll see how this plays out. With that, ladies and gentlemen, you guys are here for the part 2 of the Sean G and Dennis Byron collab. Went down on the weekend. But we're gonna let's get Alex up out of here. Alex, you're up out of here, Alex. You're up out of here. Okay, we're gonna get over here. Let's bring Sean G up. Let's go.
Closing was intense.
Very intense.
Especially going home, not knowing what the jurors were thinking. And then when Mark started, first I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if you saw this, but that day that Mark was going to do his closing, he was pacing up and down towards the back of the courtroom, and I was just watching.
Okay, guys. So what happened just before Attorney Mark Agniflio had to do his closing argument, I watched him prepare for the closing argument. No different than I watched Attorney Brian Steele prepare for his cross-examination of Mia. And I knew this was a very important moment in the trial. This is probably one of the most crucial moments in the trial. And I watched how he prepared for this. I always say that there are 3 crucial moments in the trial, besides the evidence and the witness testimony, is the picking of the jurors. Very crucial. Then there's the instruction by the judge once all the evidence has been shown or testified to. And then there's the closing argument. The closing is important because lawyers in their opening present an argument to which their evidence will show that the person has committed these acts, or in a civil case has created a defamation, slander, or breach of contract, or whatever the case is. The opening kind of lay out the outline what the jurors are going to be looking for throughout the trial. And then during the closing, they had to wrap everything up in a nice package with a nice bow, and are able to remind the jurors what they've heard throughout the trial. And say, for example, if you oversold your case to the jurors in the beginning, they're going to be looking for certain things he didn't do. I'm going to bring this witness in. I'm going to bring this witness. And then when you get to the end of the trial, they don't see that. Now they're questioning, was this oversold? Was Diddy trial oversold to the jurors? Clearly it was. The prosecutors oversold this jury a case that wasn't there. So let's go.
I was watching Brian when before Mr. Steele was going to cross-examine Mia. He was doing some type of ritual stretching, and he was just doing. I said, "Look at this guy; he's getting ready." and then when she came in and sat down, he just went in and it was just so. And he has.
It's so incredible. With the 1-2
I appreciate.
Oh man, Brian Steele.
Yes, it's technique. Once the jurors hear it, objection, Your Honor. Don't matter. The jurors heard it already. Masterful. And I actually saw more of his. I watched throughout the YSL. I was covering the YSL, but I tell you, man, if the cameras were in the courtroom, it would be like incredible to see that. And I think Mark hit all the high notes. I think some people that had an issue with him talking about he would have taken a plea if they offered him the plea or for the Mann Act.
So what Mark actually said was, if Diddy was charged with the domestic violence, he would have pled to that. But you can't. First of all, it's federal court, so you can't really be. There would have not been a plea for the domestic violence. That's a state. That's a state charge that he was never charged with. So that's what Mark said in his opening, that had it been a domestic violence, Diddy would have pled to that. He would have pled to that.
They played the video so many times. It was like that was the foundation for the case. The 2016 video, they played it so many times.
They only played 13 seconds of it.
But they played it.
Right, but it's really a 6-minute video.
Right.
6 minutes, 38 seconds, I think.
Yeah, but slow-mo, speed up.
Yeah, just that one loop from Cassie stealing his phone and running out. Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, she stole his phone.
Right. What was she looking for?
Yeah, they both did that to each other. He would steal her phone, call niggas she was dealing with. Cassie would steal his phone, call Gina, she was jealous.
But he was wild out when he kicked her on. That really broke my heart.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
Yeah, that right there. I was very upset about that. Seeing, Puff's a big guy. He ran marathons.
Yeah.
And I think that was why people were really outraged. Not with all the arson, and even the arson nonsense. They talk about the car was blown up. We saw pictures. Where you saw a blown car at? They had a little charred seating.
Puff was never there.
He was never there.
No fingerprints,
Nothing.
No video, no photos, no eyewitness.
Man, why is Kid Cudi lying? He comes in and
he can understand and commit perjury.
Right. But you're being chased by Puff. You didn't tell us that story.
Right. That was in Cassie's civil suit too, that her lawyer put in there, that Puffy blew up his car.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you think Cassie and Kid Cudi coordinated that piece in the civil suit? Do you think that those two collabed with her attorney in adding that component to the civil suit? Because we heard what Capricorn Clark said, and then we heard his testimony. Their testimonies were different. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Said that Puffy was in his house. He called Puffy on the phone, and Puff answered from inside his house. And he said, "You in my house, motherfucker?" And Puffy said, "Yeah, I'm waiting for you." "All right, well, wait right there. I'm on my..." Oh, man. This is what these people got on the...
But then when Capricorn Clark gets on the stand, she tells a different story.
Yeah, she's a liar, too. She liked Puff. She wanted Puffy to hit that like Puffy was hitting Cassie, but Puffy didn't want
She told that incredible story. He comes to the outside the door with pants torn, with a gun to his... I'm like, and you open the door?
Right.
And you get in the car and you wait downstairs?
Right.
Like,
she had a crush on Puff the whole time she worked there. She called him chocolate. And hated on Cassie. Oh, she ain't got no talent.
Puff was smashing. He was just hitting.
Everybody,
even Mia.
Even Mia. And Mia fronting in front of Cassie, "I'm your best friend." Meanwhile, she fucking Puff too. What a story.
Come on, Mia.
Right. You came to testify under the fake name first. Brian Steele broke you down, crying on the stand. You met with the government 31. First it said 27. Then later it came out 31 times. And Brian Steele says, Mia, why did you have to meet with the government 27 times?
Right.
So that they could understand my story.
That was rehearsal.
Those
were rehearsals.
Yeah, it was rehearsal.
Rehearsals. I think 5 times would have been a lot, excessive, to meet with someone to tell your story.
Listen, the truth you ain't gotta rehearse the truth with me.
You don't have to.
Once I tell you the story one time, you bring me back, say, I don't know if this nigga lied.
And she's eager to come back to write. She wrote a letter, is eager to give an impact. What do you get an impact for? You're not part of it, man.
Somebody's writing a book for her.
Oh, yeah.
Probably,
yeah.
that's in the work.
Yeah.
But we didn't finish talking about Mark and his closing.
So Mark's closing, the way he's and I wish I had the transcript, but the way he talked about, first thing he said was, you see those 2 guys sitting next to him? Those are the U.S. Marshals. He let the jury know that those are U.S. Marshals, and Mr. Combs, you may not know, but Mr. Combs is currently locked up in MDC. So the 2 guys, so he let the jurors know that. So I said, he's sharing that. Usually you don't share that with the jurors because that's the whole purpose of dressing your civvies, so the jurors won't have a formed impression. So when he said that, I said, okay, let's see what else is going to do. Then he started talking about, they talked about Rico, but they never talk about how successful he is as a businessman. You never heard no one say he was a bad businessman. As a matter of fact, he paid people, young people, 3 times what they were worth. There's one person making almost $100,000, like 20-something years old. How was that abuse back in 2016 or 2018, 2015? So he started explaining, and he talked about the family, his mother, and the children, everyone. 6 of his kids were in the courtroom, and then he started saying, "I wish I had the closing with me."
He said, "Man," he says, "The Homeland Security." Went to his house. The SRT ripped off his door, destroyed his property.
Yes.
And you know what they found? Baby oil and Astroglide.
That was funny.
The world is safe.
Right. When he said that,
from baby oil.
It was so animated.
Yeah. And from what I understand, I wasn't in 26. They say the jury started laughing.
Yeah, they did. I was right there.
And he had them.
Baby oil and Astroglide.
The world is safe from baby oil. And that's pretty much what it came down to. Because that's what Damian Williams kept pumping.
Yeah.
But I thought, I didn't even get a chance to write Mark's closing argument because I was just so fixated and glued on him. He was moving around. He was over there. Then he was up there. Then he went and moved something on the table, back down here.
He had the jurors engaged.
Exactly.
Wherever he moved, they followed him.
He had me engaged. I was like, what? And he had the microphone on, so in the overflow, the sound was kind of fucked up.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it kept going in and out.
No, it was pretty clear while I was sitting there.
But I said, you was in 26.
I was in 26.
But I said, well, Sean, it ain't for y'all in overflow as long as the jury is here.
Yeah. And he was connecting.
He saved Puffy's life, man. He saved Puffy's life. I don't care what nobody say. You know what I'm saying? Nicole Westmoreland should have did the closing argument. Brian Steele or Tanny or whatever.
No, he didn't.
Mark is from the Bronx. He's a native New Yorker, and the 12 jurors were native New Yorkers. And
that's why they got old boy off the jury, because Mark's from the Bronx. That's why they try to get. That's why they got juror 6 off the jury. Mark's from the Bronx. It was the Bronx connectivity.
So, that's the guy I never thought about. That.
Yeah, Mark's from the Bronx. You see, I didn't know that. You just brought that
Mark's
up.
From the Bronx. So you had a native.
Oh, you know they was connected. Oh my goodness, I didn't know he was from the Bronx.
Yeah,
that's it. That was it.
You had a native New Yorker lawyer, the lead lawyer, doing the closing, talking to 12 New Yorkers about how stupid this case was and how stupid everything you just heard for 8 weeks is about Astro Glide and Baby O. And
So the juror number 6 in particular, he was targeted. At the time, I didn't know Mark Agnifilo was from the Bronx. He's from the hood. Or maybe I don't know if he's from the hood, because it's a section in the Bronx called Little Italy, off of Belmont. Anyone from the Bronx, you know what I'm talking about? Belmont near Tremont. But he's from the Bronx or Castle Hill. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. It could be Pelham Parkway. Oh man. But the fact of the matter is, you had juror number 6, this from the Bronx. The only one from the Bronx. So he was targeted. He was talking that Bronx. Mark was talking that Bronx stuff. So juror number 6, he was targeted, in my opinion, allegedly. But thank you, Sean, for helping me make that connection. That's crazy. Let's go.
he was animated like a New Yorker. Did he curse? I think he even
He did.
he cursed.
He did what he had to do.
He talked. Slavic got up there and stood in one spot and read like a 4th grade teacher, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't move.
Stood right in front of the jurors.
And with the RICO charge, you just need to find. And Mark couldn't sit still. But I like what you was getting ready to say when you said Mark was pacing up and back before he started.
Yes.
What were you gonna say?
He was pacing back and forth. He started talking to some of his colleagues in the back of the courtroom in the corner, and I watched him. Because everyone was like, "This is the closing.
This is it.
This is right here. This is getting." And
this is the 2 free throws.
I'm watching.
We down by 1. We need both. Ain't no time. It's .1 on the clock. And Mark, go shoot these 2 free throws.
Man, when he started, I said, "Oh my goodness, this is so." And I gotta tell you, to get a seat, I had to literally fight for that seat in the courtroom. It was so bad. They stuck me in the corner because you were in the courtroom. So I was in the media section in the last seat in the back.
On the last pew?
The last pew, I was seeing the jurors and everything. And it was I don't know what they had going on, but they were not trying to let people in. I'm saying, no. I was here. My colleague from Court TV, Julie Grant, she was trying to get in. I wanted to make sure she was getting in. She got in, she got her spot. I got my spot. I wanted to make sure she was good. Then when I got my spot and I saw watching him come in, and he talked to all the lawyers in the front, and then he went to the back. I'm watching. He's not reading your paper. He's not reading papers.
This is off the top of the dome.
Off the top of the dome.
Freestyling.
He's not reading nothing. I'm like
freestyling.
Like, what you notes in?
Right. He got some shit written down that he goes back to every 6 or 7 minutes. Okay. But after that, it's a freestyle.
That's a freestyle.
He freestyled. Now, what I thought was interesting, I said, if Mark get out there and he shows the slightest bit of nervousness and his voice cracks any, Puff is going to prison for life. So what they did, I think Judge Marini says, Mark, are you ready? Yeah. And Mark said, yeah, I'm ready to go. And then Maureen said, well, just we need a few more minutes. We got something to do.
Yeah.
To make him.
Don't throw him off.
To throw him off.
Oh my goodness.
To make Mark's chest start beat like I was ready.
What's he talking about? This is his time.
Right. That's like how coaches, when they're going to kick the field goal to win, you call timeout after he run out.
So you see the reaction in the corner when she did that?
So that was, let me tell you something. You had to be there at that moment. Remember, this is the cliffhanger of this is cliffhanger time. Like, Ms. Slavic did her closing the day before. Everyone was anticipating the closing and who was doing the closing. We learned that Mark would be doing the closing. And when I tell you, it was no seats. They literally had to bring more seats in so people could have a seat in the courtroom. So when Maureen Comey asked the judge, and remember, they had their time yesterday. Why is she even talking just before this guy is about to give his closing? I said, oh, hell no. No. Judge did, and the judge, listen, this is why I tell you, I got a problem with this judge. Judge, you should have told him, cut the crap. This ain't happening now. All this should have been worked out before he got in front of the jury. So the jurors are watching. They're anticipating his closing. And there's an interruption.
So I said, all I'm listening to in the overflow is, if this motherfucking voice crack, Puffy is dead.
Yeah, but so that was an interesting play they tried.
They tried. But Mark, that didn't faze him. He jumped right in that closing.
He knew what they were doing. Because I still look at his face. It was like he said he didn't know what it was.
Right. I'm a trial lawyer. This is what I do. I do this closing. And I didn't write nothing down. And after he finished, he went twice. I think he took a break.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
I left.
After the first part,
I left and went live because I said he got it.
Yeah, I had to go downstairs to do court TV. I went downstairs and then we were getting the updates coming from the courtroom. I said he did it. He did the first part. It was enough, but he had to finish it off, and he wasn't dragging it on because you don't want the jurors to think that you're just dragging it on. Now everything he had substance to it. It was nothing that you didn't have to say that. He kept the jurors engaged. And I said,
I heard they were laughing, chuckling, giggling with him.
They were. Listen, once you get the jurors laughing, you
got him.
The prosecution lost the case. They should have knew it right there. Now, let's talk about when the verdict came down. Because when the verdict came down, I was in the overflow room because I wanted to be able to. Because they locked the courtroom.
My heart was beating, kid.
Man, when that verdict came down,
my heart
was
beating
listening
that morning. Catching the train from Jersey to New York, I was like, damn, if they convict Puff, he's done.
But we got the verdict back at like 1 something. It was like in the afternoon.
No, that verdict came back at like 10:38.
No, 10 something.
10:30 something.
And when they read the verdict,
because we was all outside in the front, then they said, we got a verdict, and then everybody came in.
Yeah. Then when the verdict was read, reporters started running outside.
I dipped. As soon as they said not guilty, and guilty to man, I dipped and went live. Said Puffy beat the feds. But remember the night before when they said that they were deadlocked?
Yes.
They had agreed on 4 counts.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But was deadlocked on 1. So I was like,
You were trying to read that. You was trying to read it.
No, but then it hit me like 11 o'clock that night before. I said, well, Sean,
what did you think?
They don't have the RICO. Because if they had the RICO, the sex trafficking for both goes with that. Because the predicate offenses under the RICO are the force, the coercion. If they got the RICO, they definitely got them too. So if they don't got the RICO, he's not guilty on the sex trafficking, and he's maybe not guilty on the prostitution, but even if he is, the prostitution is small potatoes.
I knew it was gonna be a Mann Act. I didn't believe they had RICO. I never believed they had RICO. And sex trafficking, I didn't think they had that either. I didn't know if it was going to be 1 Mann Act or 2 Mann Acts. I said, if you look at my Twitter timeline, I gave a prediction. And I think I was pretty spot on. I said, he's going to be found guilty, but now RICO.
Right. When they said they didn't have the RICO, the predicate offenses under the RICO was force, coercion, which are needed for the sex trafficking joint.
Right.
So I said he's not guilty.
Yeah, forced coercion and fraud.
Okay.
And I thought maybe they was hung up on the drugs under the RICO.
Right.
Because remember they asked, then they go back and ask him for a second time for an opinion on the drugs.
The drugs.
And
so,
I said they
the drugs was
it's personal use.
Yeah.
They had a possession with the intent to distribute. Knock it off.
Right. So when they were asking about the drugs, that couldn't have been anything related to the Mann Act. It had something to do with part of the RICO.
Right.
So if they are even asking that question, that was a little kind of tricky. When why are you still talking about that? We thought the RICO was out the window, but you asked about drugs. That had nothing to do with sex trafficking. Well, sex trafficking maybe.
It's a predicate offense under the RICO. Because there was like 7 to 9 predicate offenses under the RICO.
Right.
Arson, robbery, kidnapping. And they found them, they acquitted them, man.
I mean, I know Puff probably was like, wait a minute. We got a partial verdict. I got to go home and go sleep on this.
Yeah, I was deflated. When they came back with the partial verdict, that bothered me. I was deflated. I don't know why. I don't know Puff. I never met Puff. But
I own a lot of archive Puffs for his old. When the kids were small, I was shooting Puff before the kids was even born.
You know him personally?
Personally, yes.
Yeah, I don't know the nigga.
Wow.
But I became so attached to his case and to him because my federal case was very, very similar to this. I just didn't have as much money as he did. But
Let's talk about that part.
The women and the backstabbing and the friends and the people you loved and trusted willing to testify against you and testify, that all happened to me, man. And really? I just man, my story is similar like that, man. I didn't go to trial. I pled guilty. I took a plea, but I was dead in the water. They had me on camera, so I was dead. And I knew I was breaking the law.
Okay, all right.
What you want to talk about?
I don't know if I want to talk about your case.
All right, we don't want to talk about it.
But would you, based on covering this trial, is this your first trial covering?
First trial ever.
Wow. Wow. There's a lot of people that this was their first trial. That's interesting.
I never did this before. I'm on YouTube. I do calisthenics. And I'm a finance man. I'm an accountant with a real estate man. I never did this ever.
So do you feel like you would like to do other trials based on covering this one? And if so...
No, I just like this one.
This one? You don't think no other trial can bring you back out? To do the Sean G?
I was the fucking best on this one, man.
But my coffee's better than your coffee.
Your coffee ain't like mine. My coffee's got more steam than yours. I went to that courtroom every day, Byron, to be better than everybody down there, man. I was going to dress better. I was going to look better. I was going to report better. I went down.
I meant to tell you, I have a piece of clothing that's coming out of the new suspender line. Maybe you can model for me?
Absolutely, absolutely. I had my braces on, my suspenders, and they wanted me out of there, man. They wanted me out of there.
Let's talk about that.
They wanted me out of that.
I caught a stray from that whole situation.
You caught a straight bullet?
I caught a straight bullet shot.
They were shooting at me?
They shooting at you, man. I got in the way. They called.
Tell them what's up.
Oh, my goodness. So, there was a day that I didn't show up, but it was like I was there. Apparently, there was some talk about someone released a witness's name.
Mia.
Okay, I'm not there. So I'm getting a call. I'm getting a call from one of my contractors, well, not contractors, one of the companies I deal with, TMZ. They called me up and said, "What? Did you get kicked out of the courtroom?" I said, "No. I took the day off." They said, then they told me another media outlet called and asked, did I get kicked out? I'm like,
they had to say a black man, right?
Yeah, the black guy.
Yeah.
He's in hip hop. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm in hip hop. Who else could it be? So the other colleagues, I had probably about 10 calls. I heard you got kicked out. I didn't get kicked out of what? I said, oh my goodness, what the hell happened? And then a little birdie told me that, they said it was the other guy. What did he do? What did he do? So, You actually, the bullet was meant for you. It wasn't meant for me. So what happened, man? What did you do, man?
Man, I had paid $120 to this white dude to sit out there in front of the courtroom all night for me to get me the first spot to go into 26. I went into the 26th floor one time. I just wanted to see Puffy.
Okay.
So I paid my man the $120. I gave him 60 the night before. Then I gave him 60 the next day. He had the first spot for me. So I was the first motherfucker in line.
Okay, that would have been John.
So we go in. Tisa Tells beats me through the screening, you know, where they do the beep, beep, beep.
Yeah.
You gotta give away all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So then, you know, you go stand in the hallway
Right.
for the marshals to come take the first 7 and then the second 7. So
So
now she's number 1 and I'm number 2.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there chilling like Matt Dillon, ain't robbing, ain't stealing, minding my business. And she tells, good morning, how's everybody doing? Just talking to everybody, and I'm like, yo.
Wait, hold on. What I'm talking to Tisa told, she went on live and said I was living in my car. She on the Citizens Day, Tisa, I don't live in my car, Tisa, for the record. And that was just funny. Did you see the clip?
No.
No, I gotta share the clip, but I don't know if I should share the clip. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So she, like a day or two before that, her and another black girl reporter, I think from CBS or ABC, they was just like, the girl from CBS, what's her name, Jerica Duncan?
Yeah, Jared. Yeah.
She came, she got them filming me, taking pictures of me while I'm out in the front doing my thing. And don't never give me the pictures, don't never tell me what she doing. She just filming me, right?
Jerica?
Yes. The one that's down with Gayle King.
Yeah, I know Jerica.
Yeah.
You come to R. Kelly in Chicago.
Yeah. So
hey, Jerica.
we exchanged Instagrams, but I don't never see the content. So now I'm hearing Tisa Tells is making videos about me, and they calling me the hip hop journalist, the hip hop YouTuber, or whatever. So now I'm watching Tisa make this video. I ain't never said nothing to this girl or nothing about this girl, but she's making videos about me first. So I'm like, bet, you want to battle like that? Bet. I go to the crib, I make a video about her, but I don't release it. So we stand in the line, she's in front, she's speaking to everybody, all that old nonsense, and she turns to me, she says, well, what do you think about the Puffy trial so far?
This is after she did videos on you.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, I said, I'm down with Puff. She got out of line and went to the back and started talking with people in the back. We go upstairs. This is the day Mia is on the stand and Brian Steele is cross-examining. And we go outside. I get word that one of the black girl reporters from ABC or CBS went and told the marshals, why is he in here? Talking about me. And then I go home, I come back the next day, people start coming up to me like, yo, Sean, did you say Mia's name on your channel? Did you dox Mia's name? I said, no. Come to find out, Tisa Tells is the one that said the girl's name. So I make a video of that showing that she's the one, because they trying to blame me. So some people that were in 26 with you came to me and said, Sean, they were talking about you. Maureen Comey and Judge Submaranian were talking about you in the court.
That was when I went in there. I'm gonna tell you something. The day I went in there, because it was supposed to be it was supposed to take some type of action. So when I went back in there and sat down, people started looking at me like they thinking it's me. I'm like,
All right, put a 1 in the chat. We are back. We are back. We had an overload. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear the sound of my voice. Put a 1 in the chat. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and my guy Sean G is going to be starting his show in a few minutes. So what I'm going to do is, let's see what we can take it to here. Appreciate those who are still here.
The closing was intense, especially.
You know, so then now I become a tabloid reporter.
You didn't have to edit anything out for your commercials and everything. You kept it raw, kept it in their face. You could say what you want to say. Harvey, let me say something.
I killed everybody.
I think it would be unfair, but my guy, he said you want thinks that these jurors wasn't being influenced by
social media, Instagram, TikTok.
It should have been sequestered.
Exactly.
The stakes were too high for these jurors to be walking freely in front of the cameras coming out of the back door. They were coming out in front of the cameras. The jurors are all on the cameras. Even the judge walks in, TMZ catches the judge running up. He stopped doing that. They called one time. He stopped running up, coming in with his backpack. After that, you don't see him no more.
That was a part of their strategy. We are going to kill Puffy's name in public opinion, all on social media. We're going to create a monster. We're going to lie on him. And all the reporters are going to report that because everybody hates him. The jury will go home and see it, and the jury will be more inclined to fall in line with that narrative and be fearful of saying something else. But I think I had a play in that, man. Because after like week 3, then motherfuckers started changing. Then TMZ started moving toward the middle. Piers Morgan started moving toward the middle.
Well, he wasn't even at the courthouse. I mean,
none of them was at the courthouse.
Well, TMZ was there.
Nah, but the ones that's be in LA, the 3 dudes, the light-skinned dude with the braids, the other white dude, and the dude that run it.
Those my guys.
Them your guys, they wasn't there. They wasn't there. They wasn't there, and they hated Puff, especially the light-skinned dude.
Not Charles.
The light-skinned black dude with the braids?
No.
Come on, don't do that.
No. Charles is a good guy.
I don't care what kind of guy is. He was negative Puff.
Charles, let me say something. He's saying that. I'm not saying that.
I'm saying you was anti-Puff, and the other white dude, when they acquit him, oh my God! And Harvey was kind of stuck because he down with Mark. He cool with Mark, but he don't like Puff. And then Tenny win, so he was stuck like Chuck, but he was still riding with his platform. But I killed everybody, man. I killed everybody.
Harvey, let me say something.
I killed everybody.
I think he was being fair, but my guy, he said you weren't. Hey,
in week 5, week 6.
So he said you jumped on the bandwagon the last 2 weeks.
Right, rock jumper. Rock jumper. Just like all the other YouTubers and TikTokers out there.
Oh my goodness.
Rock jumpers.
Now I do want to shout out Armand Wiggins for the way he covered it. Very entertaining. He was pretty accurate from his account, from the testimony. It was just the last part. That's where things kind of went crazy with the oil and everything, but he did a good job. Simone Red win. Dr. Simone, she did, you know, she had a position, but she did a good job in her reporting. I still like Jerica Duncan, you know, the way she reported it. I think it was pretty fair. Of course, Sean G. And the other guy, this guy doesn't get enough credit. You never gives that enough credit, but he did a good job as well.
Who?
Dennis Byron.
Oh yeah. I saw you, Dennis. You was out there every day.
I was out there early in the morning, man.
I saw you out there. You had your we didn't rap too much during the trial. We got closer toward the end.
Right, we were working. I didn't even know where you were at because I was basically. It was so much happening. You know, I'm working cameras. I'm in the courtroom. Imagine you had to work the cameras outside to come upstairs, and it was a lot going on. And then some of the content creators that came on that were kind of just outside all during the trial.
Let me ask you this. That's a great point. Do you think the YouTubers, TikTokers, Facebookers, and Instagrammers, and the social media reporters had a bigger impact on the trial than mainstream media?
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely.
We changed that trial.
Because you didn't have to edit anything out for your commercials and everything. You kept it raw, kept it in their face. You could say what you want to say and without being censored or worried about FCC cracking down on you. And I think that spoke volumes. And you could call people out. If network TV, you can't call too many people out.
And like you said, there was some social media people that never went into 26 or never went into Overflow. They stayed down going
outside.
Live all day.
Outside.
Round the clock. They never went into the courtroom.
Never went to the courtroom.
And people were tuned in. And the mainstream...
They made a killing.
They made
a killing. Staying outside.
Mainstream media never... They weren't ready for that. No, that's why this trial is so monumental and it's so pivotal because social media, we dominated.
You walked through the courtyard.
It was packed.
Packed. Camera. You know, I did a wide shot. Just kept walking around, just shooting everyone, doing their lives and everything. I said, look at this.
Did you see like the dudes when you was walking from the back door to the front door?
Yes.
To where you went in?
That's what I did.
Them people that was going live, that sat on that side, they never went in the courtroom. They was there every day.
Wow.
Live. And people were tuned in. Mainstream media, they thought it was going to be like they've been doing it for the last 20 years. And they got their asses kicked.
So you're telling me you're not going to come back out and cover another trial, Sean? There's no trial that you see worthy of you covering a federal trial?
What trial is going to live up to this kind of hype, man? What trial?
Luigi.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He shot the guy in the back of the head, man. It's on camera. I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so then now I become a tabloid reporter like Tisa Tells, a tabloid YouTuber. I'm just going over there just to get the views and that you know, integrity. A lot of my channel is, you know what I'm saying, I was invested in this trial in a way, and I don't know why. And people were telling me before, when I started covering, my main subscribers like, Sean, don't cover that. Stick with the calisthenics. Man, leave that shit alone. And something was just telling me like, nah, I'm gonna go, because I want to go hear the nonsense.
I think I seen a video. I think I seen your video where you said you were getting ready, you were home, and you know who else? I saw your video. That's how I said, okay, you getting ready to go to, you're coming to New York to cover it. And there was the Mango Girls. You saw the Mango Girls that were covering it as well. They were doing too much. The Asian, you saw the Asian girls. You didn't see that.
I heard about them.
Yeah, they dropped out I think they didn't stay the distance. They didn't go the distance with the trial.
People were discouraging me in the beginning to not cover this trial. And, you know, as a YouTuber, you notice that we make money off our views. And I didn't get, my views were always about 20 to 25% of what the other major YouTubers that had my size platform, because I was anti-Puff. Excuse me, I was pro-Puff. If you were anti-Puff, your numbers were magnified.
Right.
If you were pro-Puff,
I saw that.
your numbers are low.
Right.
Right. So, but I still had my biggest month ever. My 2 biggest months ever covering that trial. But, you know, I just, you know, when I was in federal prison, man, I heard the stories of prosecutors doing brothers wrong and over-sentencing them. And then, you know, to be in the courtroom and see prosecutorial misconduct in front of my face, you know what I'm saying? And to find out that Puffy, what they said, what these other rappers said about him and what these other shows said about him, it wasn't true. You know, that strengthened my resolve, and it became a spiritual thing for me at one point, that I was gonna be the most honest motherfucker out there. That's what I was gonna do. That's what I was gonna do. And, you know, I think I helped Puff, man. I don't know.
Were you surprised that a lot of the people that you would see hanging around him, you know, I can say it, you know, Jay-Z, Meek Mills,
DJ Khaled,
DJ
Fat
Khaled,
Joe,
Busta
Busta Rhymes.
Are you surprised none of them showed up?
Nas, Mary J. Blige.
They didn't show up at the courthouse.
Motherfuckers didn't come.
They didn't show up. So, with that,
bothered me.
Do you think Puff should just chill out in the music business and just kind of just focus on the next phase in his life? Because these people never showed up for him for this. Only one show was Kanye.
Kanye came.
Right. Do you think he should probably just stay away from fake friends? These fake friends, because that's why I call them fake friends.
Well, these are rock jumpers, right? See, Puff's got 2 set of friends now. He's got before the verdict friends, and he's got after the verdict friends, right? It's easy to be down with Puff after the verdict, right?
I see some interviews now, cats are talking about, they before the verdict, you cats were nowhere.
Nobody was nowhere.
Quiet as a house mouse.
Right. Now, I did get some feedback from somebody in 2060 saying that maybe Puff might have told some of them, like, yo, don't even put your career at risk coming down here supporting me. You know, I got it. Don't worry about it. But, you know, your friends, my mother always told me that you find your friends 2 times, when you're sick and when you're in trouble. So I think even if Puff would have told him, like, yo, man, don't even come down here. If you my man, if you my motherfucking nigga, you supposed to come one day down there and come in the courtroom, go through security, come up and come out and let the cameras see that you came, right? Because that could impact a jury. I thought if them names you came would have starstruck the jury, he could have got acquitted of everything.
They didn't even show up.
They didn't come, man. And I
some people I'm very surprised didn't show up. I'm not gonna say their name.
Yeah.
But I'm very surprised they didn't show up.
Yeah. But see, that happened to me. Only little Sean came to court with me. He was 3 years old. I helped hundreds of people make thousands of dollars. All of the women I was dealing with, none of them came. Nobody came.
No one wants to come to court.
Nobody came. Me and my son, and they made him sit outside. They said he was too young. I stood in that motherfucking federal courtroom by myself and got my sentence. And
how long did you have to wait before you got adjudicated?
I got sentenced August the 6th, 2014. They gave me 60 days to get my affairs in order, and I had to report to federal prison October 6th, 2014. I fought my case for like 3.5 years. I was in a depression for 3.5 years. I lost $1.2 million, my real estate broker's license, my principal residence, and 9 houses, my tax business, my real estate brokerage business, furniture, cars, and custody of my son. The only thing I didn't lose was my mind. And everybody but that was my fault. I did that to myself. All that shit was my fault. But I needed to go through that experience in order to learn. And Puffy never would have found out who loved him and who didn't had he not gone through this. And now he knows that 1,000%.
That I think that was so valuable, so valuable. And you know, while Puffy would probably be, would it be about 60 getting out?
He gonna get out before that.
Well,
Puff got 13 months in.
I believe he's gonna get out sooner, way sooner than that. But
he may get pardoned.
Yeah.
But even if he got to do the 30 something months, he'll be home in 2026 because he's gonna get the drug program. That's 18 months off the rip. Good time. He's got 13 months in already. He'll be eligible for home confinement or halfway house when he's done with the RDAP. But he has been introduced to another Sean Combs that he didn't know.
That's right.
Right?
That's
See,
right.
we don't know about the times he maybe almost had a stroke from the fear of getting life in prison or having a heart attack.
Just think about that.
On the bus, shackled on a van like this or like this, facing life, and you know, a lot of people when they get indicted by the feds take their life because the pressure is that great. They don't survive it. I've heard stories of that. I went into a depression for
Do you
3.5
think Epstein
years.
took his life?
Huh?
You think Epstein took his life?
No.
Okay.
No.
He wasn't even at a point where he wasn't at the point of picking a jury or anywhere.
They didn't let him get that far.
Yeah.
He was getting ready to cooperate.
Yeah.
Do you think Puff had some nights of insomnia where he couldn't sleep?
I'm sure he did.
Thank you. Which leads to sleep deprivation, leads to like immunity system failure, stroke, heart attack, with the pressure. Am I going home? My 2-year-old, man, come on, man. That nigga is strong. See, that's the part we don't see, that I know about, the darkness. So, but he know now.
What do you think his first 60 days in prison would look like? Does he go?
If he gets designated?
Once he gets designated, not if he will get designated.
Yeah.
What do you think his first 60 days is going to look like inside?
Well, the first day he gets there, he's going to go to R&D. They're going to dress him out. They're going to give him, well, he'll probably have his uniform, his jail suit from MDC. He'll go to his unit. He'll hit the compound. He'll go to R&D. They'll process him in. They'll send him to a unit. And when he gets to whatever unit they send him to, the New York and New Jersey niggas are gonna go and introduce themselves to him and say, what up? They're gonna give him shower shoes, some sweatpants, sweatshirt, shorts to work out in, a suit, and they're gonna let everybody know Puff is fucking with us. And I think Puff goes into any prison in the federal system with massive respect because he went to trial and won.
Right.
And he didn't rap.
Right.
Right? So you can send him to a USP, Bloody Beaumont or Allenwood or Big Sandy, and the New York car is going to claim him. But even the other inmates, the White Aryan Brotherhood, the Mexicans, the Chicago car, the Texas car, the DC blacks, they're going to look at him and say, that nigga went to trial and he beat him, he didn't rap. So for that alone, stamp, good. But then from there, he's going to have to survive. But being extorted and that kind of thing,
that's not happening.
They respect him. They were covering the trial. The inmates in federal prison got cell phones. They're not supposed to have them, but they have them. They were watching the trial. They saw everything. They have pacer accounts.
And they have TVs.
Right, but they have pacer accounts where they download your paperwork so that they know if you ratted or not when you get to the compound, or if you're a chomo or child molester or whatever. They know.
No.
So right, the water don't run the prison. It's the inmates that run the prison.
Absolutely.
So Puff is going to be good. I think it'll be a good experience for him. I kind of hope he does make it to a yard, because the more he's away from his family,
When you say make it to the yard,
get designated.
right? Why wouldn't you think he's not making it?
He'll get pardoned.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Well, I mean,
Right, like I hope he doesn't get pardoned yet. I hope Puffy doesn't get pardoned. I want Puffy to get designated and get sent to a low.
we don't endorse that. Go ahead.
And get sent to a low.
Why? Tell us why.
Because that's even more of a stamp for him. And
Does he need to stand?
yes, he does.
You know,
Because
the time in MDC was.
Yeah, but MDC is a jail. He was in one room the whole time, you know. But if you got to a prison yard, you know, this is going to be even more time. It's going to be another spiritual experience for him. Prison, I don't recommend prison. I don't encourage prison. I don't want you to go to prison. But you can learn so much from being by yourself. You know, this will be another time where he had 4 assistants that he was paying $100,000 a month, a year to, right? KK $600,000, a chef, a butler. Everybody waiting on him hand and foot. Oh, Mr. Cole, Mr. But when he get on the yard, it's gonna be none of that. Right? It's gonna be you and your fucking high school locker with a combination lock, and everything you own is gonna be it. And this is gonna teach him that, wow, I can survive with a high school locker and a combination lock. And when he comes back out, yes, his bells and whistles will be there, the plane will be there, the cars, but he'll have a totally different perception of it, and he can teach that to his kids.
Absolutely.
Right? I don't know his kids, you know, but these kids, they have to be like, these are like entitled, privileged kids, man, that they don't have to do nothing.
Right.
Ain't never had to do nothing.
Right. That's
Neither did Puff. And he's gonna come out, and they're not gonna know him. They're not, a lot of people that Puffy used to talk to, he's not gonna talk to, because this situation has changed him in a way that you would not believe. He's gone through a metamorphosis, and he has grown in a way that you wouldn't even imagine. And if you've never been to prison, you're not gonna be able to identify with what I'm saying. But the niggas that's been down, they know exactly what I'm talking about. He's gonna be a monster when he comes out. In terms of his autobiography will be written. He'll be there and wrote his movie biopic for the silver screen. He'll be able to probably wrote an album, right? And he steps out and he's got all of these things. He can finance it himself.
Right. Absolutely.
Or you want to give me a $10 million advance for the book plus $2 per book that's sold. You want to buy the rights to my life, but I got to direct it. You want to give me $100 million or $400 million?
One thing.
He's a genius.
Yeah, he's a genius.
That came out at the trial.
He's a genius.
This man is a genius. Like him or hate him, love him or hate him.
His accountant came in and told him, yes, he taught me. I went to Harvard. And my best lesson was with him.
He hired the dude away from Nickelodeon, the CEO of Nickelodeon, hired him away to come work for Revolt.
That's right.
And that's how that assistant came, the white kid, George Kaplan, that was loved Puff.
Yes.
This dude, you can love him or hate him or whatever, say what you want. The man is a genius. You can't deny it. If you are, you're being disingenuous.
Sean, let people know what you got going on, how they can reach you. We about to end this, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, this is the podcast.
That's your camera right there.
Which one? That big one right there?
Big one right there. That's you right there.
Yeah, this is the podcast with Soul. I'm on Spotify, the podcast with Soul, YouTube, the podcast with Soul, TikTok, the podcast was sold. Instagram, the podcast was sold. And 2 people approached me at the trial to make a documentary about the Puffy trial, which with me as the central figure. And I didn't want to do it because I got to get Puff's permission to do that, to talk about his family and him in that way. And I ain't spoken to him, so I turned him down. But I think I'm going to start shooting my own shit, you know, and maybe one day if I get to meet him, I could get his blessing to put that together. And so that's what I'm doing, man. Go on my website too. Go buy some of my stuff. Hurry up. Go right now. My stuff is better than everybody else's. My hoodies, my hats, my shirts, everything. You can get this shirt. The podcast was sold.bigcartel.com. And my coffee is better than yours.
We'll hold off on this coffee. I'm Dennis Byron here live at the Hip Hop Inquirer, Byron Media Group Studios with my man Sean G. You can follow us on hiphopinquirer.com, on social Hip Hop Inquirer, on Twitter, formerly X, formerly Twitter, at Mr. Dennis Byron. You can follow us across all platforms. This is our first of many, I hope, with Mr. Sean G. I appreciate it.
I'll be back.
He flew all the way from New Jersey. He's in Atlanta at a secret location. And I'm honored to have him as one of my top guests.
Thank you, dude.
And I really appreciate his grind, his hustle, his knowledge, his experience, his wisdom. And I've learned some things from this brother. And with any interview you do, if you don't learn something from your guest, it's a wasted interview. And I've learned a lot from this gentleman right here. I do appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, man.
That's a wrap.
Peace.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. So go over to Sean G. He's doing his thing on one of the podcasts with Soul. With that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. See you in the next live.